Okay, we're going to have some fun today because we are going to clear some things up because a lot of people just lie, make stuff up, or are just downright confused. Um, I got the idea from a Baker Mayfield mega fan. His name is Zangex. He's subscriber, always in the comment section. He's actually the founder and president of the Baker Mayfield fan club in Nova Scotia. And then I also just recently found this out, also in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I mean, it's just wild. And he pointed out like a year ago, he's like, most people are not going to watch every single one of your videos. I've posted literally thousands of videos. He's like, so people are going to be, they're not going to they're not going to know all of your takes. And it is so interesting to me because today, going into this weekend, I'm reading a lot of the comments, and as I always do, and it's just seeing more and more and more misrepresentation, again, downright lying, confusion, and we're gonna get after it. And I got so many examples and so many of my own receipts talking about Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles, the Detroit Lions, the Kansas City Chiefs, Baker Mayfield. It's going to be a good one. I hope you stick around. Because we're putting an end to this nonsense right now. So it's funny because I don't even know where to officially begin because there's so many examples and there's so many different comments that it's honestly a little overwhelming. I'm like, how do I want to piece this all together? And honestly, I don't even know quite yet. But first and foremost, though, that I want to emphasize is it's like, why are we doing this right now? And it's because when I preach about community and having real grounded conversations and unbiased conversations and all of that type of stuff, I really truly mean that. And that type of stuff is really important to me. And integrity is really important to me. And honesty is really important to me. So this idea that I could say something about one player or one team or something, but I would never do it for another. Or again, there are certain people in the comment section that say like, dude, you never, right? This guy right here, you never defend Patrick Mahomes, but I believe you do that out of respect for Andy and Spags, or love how you just give excuses for the Eagles. You have always been a hater on Bucks and Baker. That's why. Okay. Injury excuse is low for you. I'm disappointed. Every team is dealing with injuries. No excuse. Stop cherry picking. The Chiefs had the same issues and you did not give them pass, so do not give the Eagles a pass. And it's like all of these comments are completely false and I can prove with my own takes. Okay? So let's just jump into a couple of examples right off the bat, and we'll continue to unpack these things. This is right after the Kansas City Chiefs lost in the Super Bowl when they got annihilated. And you can see death of a dynasty, February 2nd of 2020, 2025. This is after the Kansas City Chiefs lost in a pretty shocking defeat. This is what I said. This was from February 12th, 2025. Listen. I'm just not so sure to say that because for me, the Kansas City Chiefs dynasty started in 2018. And it's like, to me, it's like you don't have to just win these Super Bowls. Even the Kansas City Chiefs losing, even the way how they lost so massively to the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's say they played in another 2 Super Bowls next year. Let's just say that they're in the Super Bowl again next year and they get owned again. Seriously, let's just say it's against the Eagles again or any team, and they get dominated 42-0. It's even worse of a loss. And Patrick Mahomes throws 5 interceptions and 4 fumbles, right? It's just absolutely pure humiliation. And everyone's saying that is the worst performance I've ever seen in Super Bowl history. That's still part of the dynasty for me because it's still showing you how great they are. So I'm not so quick to say death of a dynasty. It's a weird thing to say for a Kansas City Chiefs hater. Let's talk about Patrick Mahomes, though, which doesn't make sense specifically. Nothing changes for me because him three-peating wasn't going to bolster. Because for me, for his, GOAT resume. Because I already told you, his entire career to me is a dynasty. So whether he wins a Super Bowl this past year or just wins next year or the year after, the three-peat itself just would not matter to me. So him losing this game didn't do anything for me now to bring him down. I mean, in that video, on a follow-up video, I showed a comment that someone said, I gained a lot of respect for you. Thank you for being objective. You could have literally celebrated and said Mahomes was overrated and some more of that, but you didn't. So, weird. But let's now talk about this season. Because injury excuse is low for you, I'm disappointed. Stop cherry picking. The Chiefs had the same issues and you did not give them a pass. So do not give the Eagles a pass. The Chiefs have no juice offensively. And the Ravens, they can't seem to do anything right on defense, although they do have some injuries. To be clear, that's what Colin said. I'm repeating what Colin said. Let's just be very clear about that. We're going to continue. We could say that essentially about the Kansas City Chiefs offense. Obviously, it's always, it's the suspension and injury. But you're talking about wide receiver 1 and 2. That is why this offense doesn't have a lot of juice. But to now just be like, I just don't see it. This team just has no juice. This Super Bowl window's closing. It's over. I would agree. The Seattle Seahawks have more juice right now. I just made a video about them and posted it. But when it all comes down to it, in a winner take all, who are you going to trust more? And again, I'm a huge believer in Clint Kubiak and Sam Darnold. That's why I'm using them as a specific example right now. Because I've been praising them together. And I was really excited to see what they look like together with Seattle. But I'm still going to have tremendously more confidence in Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. Regardless of whether or not they have Rashee Rice, Njigba, whoever. But wait, there's more. There's more. This is from Colin's herd hierarchy, where at this point the Chiefs were 1-2. I think they had just beaten the Giants, and you could see the Giants are not there. Let's see what I say here. Let's take a listen. I'm gonna have to break my rule again because I like to do this list as I just keep all the 10 teams and I rearrange them to how I see it. But I'm gonna have to break my rule again and add the Kansas City Chiefs in here because I just continue to not understand how they're not a top 10 team. I mean, I went out and said that I thought that it would be inexcusable for the Baltimore Ravens to lose to the Kansas City Chiefs because the Kansas City Chiefs are not playing as great as I think they are, and Patrick Mahomes hasn't been great, and the defense isn't been as dominant as it has been over these last couple of years, and they're incomplete. Xavier Worthy's banged up. He will be playing against the Ravens, but obviously, isn't 100%. And Rashee Rice isn't there, and it's just all that is that should be enough for a team like the Baltimore Ravens to win that game. And then I see how they look on Detroit, and I'm just like yikes. I hated what I saw from Baltimore. And so again, when you're talking about some of these other teams competing, I'm just in a single game, winner take all, it's just hard for me to be I think the Bucs are better than the Kansas City Chiefs, or I think the 49ers with Mac Jones is better than the Kansas City Chiefs. Another weird thing to say about someone that stop cherry picking. The Chiefs had the same issue. You did not give them pass, so do not give the Eagles a pass. That's weird. Very weird. Let's now jump to a little bit of Baker Mayfield. Okay? When Baker first got to the Bucs and was finishing up that season, J-Mac had this to say, and this was my response.
Baker, last chance. You're playing with house money. You had a great run in college, good start to your career. No pressure here in Tampa. And he plays great.
Well,
you gonna go pay him now and make him your guy? Is that what I heard you say?
Well, time out. Everybody wants a defensive interim coach with 2 years to be a head coach. I'm saying Baker is a #1 quarterback who led the Tire Fire Browns to the playoffs and he's now doing the same in Tampa. This is legitimate.
Okay.
I don't know what J-Mac is talking about. It's clearly legitimate. No pressure. Baker had all the pressure in the world. This isn't house money. He didn't have house money. He was playing for his entire NFL career. If he failed in Tampa, who else was going to want him? I mean, he was just either going to be a straight-up backup quarterback or he wasn't going to be in the league at all. So house money makes no sense. You have to give it to Baker. He actually did rise to the occasion, and he's looking pretty good right now. That's a weird thing to say about someone who's a Baker hater. Weird thing to say. Very weird thing to say. But now, this is after Baker lost to the Commanders in the playoffs when he had that infamous fumble. What do you think I said about that infamous fumble? Let's take a listen. To Jaden Daniels. And if I was a hater, I would easily be able to make a video right now saying, Baker Mayfield only threw for 185 yards and he lost the fumble. He has to overcome that. No, man, I'm not saying that. Baker Mayfield put his team in a position to win. And that fumble and those miscues are just tough. It is tough. It's a tough way to lose. It's an unfortunate thing that happens. And it just happens. It's virtually impossible to play perfect football start to finish throughout an entire season. And you're going to have some of those things. Just happens, and it's a bummer. And so I'm not going to pile on Baker for that, but I'm not, It's almost like I was defending Baker Mayfield in this video. It's like, did I make a video saying Baker's why they lost? Baker only threw for 185? He fumbled the ball? Or did I say Baker put his team in a position to win? Did I say, those fumbles, those miscues, they happen and it's unfortunate? What did I just say? We just watched it. This video was from January 13th, 2025. It's interesting, isn't it? I mean, here's one of the funnier comments and one of the funnier just straight up blatant lies. The Seattle Seahawks played the Buccaneers and they lost. I immediately did an instant reaction and a post-game, breakdown of it. And this guy now, the day later, on like Monday, says, I wonder when he will do the Bucs Seahawks reaction, question mark. And I was like, I did it. What are you talking about? And he goes, it's not on your video titles. Seems like you're hiding it. This is literally the video. I mean, it's a thumbnail of Sam Darnold looking pretty sad. The final score, 38-35. And the title, NFL Postgame Live, Seattle Seahawks lose insane heartbreaker to Bucs. I mean, like, I don't know what else you want me to do. I mean, I really don't. Like, I posted it. I recorded it literally as soon as the game ended. And got it out there and called it Seattle Seahawks lose insane heartbreaker to Bucs. Like, and it's a thumbnail of Sam Darnold and the final score. Like, I don't know what else I could possibly do. So please tell me how any of that makes sense. Please do. Like, these are some of the insane and absurd comments that I get that are then so misleading because then other people will read them and they'll think that they're true. They'll think that they're accurate. Oh, he's hiding. Oh, he didn't post a game. He didn't want to react to that game. And it's like, first off, I can't react to every single game. I don't react. I don't make videos about every single game. It's I wish I could. It's hard. It's impossible. I'm just one person. But then when you start putting stuff like that in the comment section, then you think like, oh, you're trying to run. You're trying to hide. And it's like, what? Like, what? No, not at all. Like, what are you inventing? Just crazy, man. Just crazy. How about when Jared Goff lost to the Washington Commanders? What did I say about Jared Goff, who threw 3 interceptions and a fumble? Let's see. Jared Goff play a great game because you know that final interception you can't really count that. That was just kind of like, hey, we got to go for it all. So I count 2 interceptions. The fumble was a tough one, for sure. Lamar Jackson fumbled the ball too. Just saying. So did Jalen Hurts. So did Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford fumbled the ball. Matthew Stafford almost threw like 5 interceptions. Seriously. The dude had turnover-worthy play after turnover-worthy play. I get it. Snow, all that. I get it. My point is that these things can happen. And you just can't put all the blame on Goff. Did he need to play better? Absolutely. The 1 interception was just a bad throw. It just got away from him. It wasn't like a bad decision necessarily, but it just happens. Quarterbacks make bad throws. It's a bummer. But it's just a thing that happens. Steph Curry airballs. It just happens, and it's bad when it happens in that type of moment. And some more Jared Goff. First off, what is this? Just like pile on Jared Goff? I mean, like right now, they're going to have real questions about Jared Goff and doubts and Sean McVay and... What are we doing here? Last week, heck, on Friday, people were talking about Jared Goff being the MVP, being special, being a top 10, top 5 quarterback, an MVP candidate. And now we're like, can we win a Super Bowl with him? Has the Super Bowl window closed? We can't keep swinging from such extremes. We just can't. It's funny. I'm noticing a pattern. I seem to be pretty consistent. In that example, when I was talking about other quarterbacks turning the ball over, I mentioned Jalen Hurts turning the ball over. I mentioned Matthew Stafford turning the ball over. Quarterbacks that I obviously have a ton of respect for. I say Matthew Stafford is one of the most gifted throwers of the ball I've ever seen. Seems like I'm pretty consistent. And now, here's after Lamar Jackson lost his playoff game, had his turnovers. Lamar Jackson dug his team in a little bit of a hole. But organizationally, the team itself did not do good enough. This is the stuff that drives me crazy. Because then I pointed out so many different examples. I pointed out Patrick Mahomes throwing interceptions and still winning in the Super Bowl. Tom Brady, Joe Burrow, Peyton Manning. I mean, Peyton Manning with the Colts threw 1 touchdown and 1 interception and won the Super Bowl. And a fumble. And again, the difference was that his players made the plays when it was time for him to make the plays. Lamar Jackson did not have that. He did not have that. Same thing with Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. This sets people off. This triggers people, and I don't know why. They're like, you're just so obsessed with Patrick Mahomes. No, these are just concrete examples of all-time great quarterbacks who have also done something that Lamar Jackson has done, but the team around him still helped support his ability to lead them back. Joe Burrow won I think an AFC championship game or at least a playoff game, throwing 0 touchdowns and 1 interception. It's funny. It's funny. I'm seeing a lot of consistency here. I'm seeing a lot of consistency. A lot. Very weird. Seems like these comments and any of the other ones that are out there don't really seem to be accurate. It seems like the biased people and the inconsistent people and the cherry-picking people are the ones that are actually calling me biased and cherry-picking, or the actual haters are calling me a hater. When it's time to rise to the occasion, I actually step up. And now let's just even now use, and we'll end here. This is a very old video. The background's pretty funny. It's about the Philadelphia Eagles. After they lost against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What do you think I said about that game in the playoffs? In, what was that? 2023? It was a long time ago, man. Long time ago. Let's see what I said about this Philadelphia Eagles team. Yes, the Eagles had, what was it, 10-1? They started 10-1. But each one of those victories, easily could have been a loss. You know, I mean, like, it really could have. They could have lost every single one of those games. So it's not like they were blowing these teams out or winning convincingly. In fact, every single week, it was like, well, they're not looking that good, but they did get the win. Well, they're not looking that good, but they won. All right, that wasn't the prettiest win, but they did win. It's in conversation of this team doesn't look right. The offense isn't getting going, but they were still getting these victories. So that's why this isn't shocking. I mean, it's really not. If you actually watch the games, that's why you can't just look at teams' records. You can't just look at the record and say, this team won, this team lost, this team has 10 wins, this team has 4 wins, therefore that team is better than that team. If it was that simple, then why would we even watch the games? You know, like, none of it would matter. Go game by game and see all the games, you know, could have lost, you know, and I don't even want to say could have. We could probably say should have, right? Should have lost to the Bills. Should have lost to the Cowboys that first game. Should have lost to the Chiefs. Should have lost. I mean, like, I don't remember every single game they played in, obviously, but, you know, like, those were all, like, one possession games, or all games that you were like, oh my God, that easily could have gone the other way. Easily. And so that's what happens. So yeah, interesting, right? Very, very, very interesting. I actually have a pretty strong record of being incredibly consistent, no matter what team I'm talking about, no matter what player I'm talking about. And yet, we get straight up lies and just straight up blatantly wrong comments saying that I'm doing one thing for the Eagles but not the Chiefs, saying that I hate Baker, or wouldn't say this about this quarterback but I would about that quarterback, or that I'm, you know, injury excuses is low for you, I'm disappointed, and or whatever variation we want to use of you're being inconsistent, you're being biased for this team, you're being biased against that team, you're being a hater for this team, and it's just like, really? Because I don't know. This is me using the same logic that I've used throughout this entire time making videos on the channel. I'm showing you some of my earliest videos that I've ever made. Video where, again, defending Baker Mayfield from J-Mac, who's like, oh, he had no pressure. I'm like, he had all the pressure in the world, and he succeeded. That's awesome. And then when he loses against the Washington Commanders, I go, yeah, it happens. You fumble the ball. It's a tough one. I didn't say, Baker only threw for 185 yards. That's not enough. And he fumbled. I didn't say that. I defended him. Lamar Jackson loses, fumbles, throws an interception. I defended him. Using other quarterbacks who I think are special and elite as reference points. Like Joe Burrow, Matthew Stafford, Jared Goff, who I've been praising and defending. Like, where is it? Showing you a video of me talking about the Philadelphia Eagles from 23 saying, they're not a good team. They're not a good team. Yeah, that 10-1 record was nice. They could have lost all of those games. They could have lost. They should. And I said they should have. I clearly say in that very video, they should have lost to the Bills. They should have lost to the Chiefs. Like, come on, man. Doesn't get any more clear than that. Saying Patrick Mahomes' entire career is a dynasty. Ripping the idea that the Super Bowl window is closed. When saying that the Kansas City Chiefs are good, when the Kansas City Chiefs were winless. Me straight up saying the Kansas City Chiefs are still a top team. So this is what happens when people make up ideas like about me and then continue to watch videos through this made up lens that doesn't exist. Now, I don't blame people for not being able to know all of my takes. That would be crazy. I mean, that'd be cool. If you watch all my videos, like, I appreciate it. Thank you. But this idea that there's this inherent bias or hate or whatever, man, like, I am one of the most consistent people and one of the most unbiased sports commentators, analysts, whatever word you want to use, content creator, whatever, out there. My record speaks volumes. So you can disagree with all my takes you want. You can disagree with all of them. No question about it. That's fine. That's fine. But you can't question the integrity. You can't question the bias or the hate or lack thereof. You could disagree. You could say, man, I think you're downplaying Baker, or I think you're elevating Jalen, or I don't think you're giving enough benefit of the doubt to this guy or this team or whatever. It's like, that's all fair. But to keep lying, keep saying that I'm doing something that I'm not, this is what really gave me the idea. Because it says, stop cherry picking. The Chiefs had the same issues. You did not give them pass, so do not give the Eagles a pass. And it's like I literally said I have the Kansas City Chiefs as a top team in the NFL. I don't even know. After they lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars, I had the Kansas City Chiefs as a top 4 team. When Colin was saying this offense has no juice, I was like, they don't have Xavier Worthy and Rashee Rice. They're missing their wide receiver 1 and 2. So this invention that there's bias or hatred, it's all it is. It's invention. It's invention. It's crazy. It really is. It really is. So that's the benefits of having these receipts. Again, you're always going to get takes wrong. You're always going to predict things wrong. That is a guarantee. It's why from the very jump, I was like, when I made some of my first videos, I was like, don't subscribe to me. Don't follow me or interact with me if you think that I'm going to be able to predict the future. I'm not trying to build a channel, community, an audience, whatever, with this idea of I'm all knowing. I know everything. You come here for all the predictions and all of that. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to get plenty of stuff wrong. But you come here if you want to have real conversations. If you want real unbiased views, grounded views, not extreme views, not Jared Goff just had a rough playoff game, therefore the Detroit Lions can't win with him. Patrick Mahomes gets rocked in a Super Bowl, therefore dynasty over, game, set, match. Baker Mayfield losing, getting outdueled from Jaden Daniels, therefore it's done. He fumbled the ball away, clearly can't handle it. Don't give any of that. So when I make an Eagles video saying, okay, Jalen Hurts threw an interception and an overthrew pass, guys, it's not the biggest of the deal, blah, 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 blah. And then you get like random comments like this. You never do this for other teams, other players. Yes, I do. And for the very teams and the very players that you claim that I don't, or that I hate, or that I have this, that I made it my focus. Dude, you never defend Patrick Mahomes. I defended him after he had the worst game of his career in the Super Bowl. I defended him this very season when he started 0-2, 1-2. And what are they even now? 2-3 or whatever the heck it is? Like, what? Like, what? And I'm delivering you the receipts, my own voice, my own words on this very channel. So again, you can come at me and say that I'm wrong with my takes. You can come at me and say you're wrong. You made a mistake. You were incorrect. I disagree with your evaluation. I disagree. I even disagree with your logic. That's all fine. But the question, my integrity, my bias, my own logic, my own individual personal logic and reason and ability to navigate this through an unfiltered, grounded lens and challenge my ability to be consistent. You can't. That's like the one thing I got. So nice try. But a swing and a miss. But those are just my thoughts. I would really love to hear yours on this one. Please drop it in the thoughts below. Drop it in the comments. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. This is obviously a different style video. So I find it interesting. I like to have some of these types of videos every once in a while as more of like an open forum. Because I find it interesting. And I practice what I preach. I keep saying, this is we, not me. This is a community. This is a channel that we can all interact with. And it's meant to be built upon a strong foundation of mutual respect and trust. And so that's why I make a video like this. To continue that growth. It's certainly not for views. It's certainly not for subscribers, right? Like, it's certainly not for that. It's in service of trying to create the best possible community, the best possible channel, having a platform where people can share their voice, share their own wisdom, their own experience, and also come to hear mine and have trust that I'm giving my take based on how I personally see it in the most grounded, unbiased way that I possibly could, and adding my own level of context, intellect, whatever. So that's all there is to it. See you next time.